All right, team. So much to discuss today. I was stuck. I have new trays. That's why I sound so lispy. Um, I was stuck on how to begin this video because there's so much to talk about that I just said, go, push the button. So that's been my motto in life, and that's going to be my motto in this video. Derek Evans here, VA Home Loan Specialist. Buy or refi with your VA Home Loan benefit. Give me a call or text or shoot me an email, NMLS 155010. We will look at mortgage today. I'm going to show you some funny stuff today. We're going to look at real estate in a big way. We're going to look at the markets. We're going to look at cryptocurrency markets. And look at kind of the big three. The way I see it is real estate, stocks. Really don't look at bonds except for mortgage rate purposes. So real estate, stocks, cryptocurrencies. These are the places where big money is moving. And at the end of the day, real estate is going to be the best. And we're going to explore the specific reasons why that's the case. And the proof is in the pudding. You can see it for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. You can see it for yourself very easily. Okay. Where should we go first? Oh, let's do something funny first, Derek. Okay, sounds good. Dave Ramsey. I am not the biggest fan, as many of you know. And it's not because of any reason other than I just constantly, he's got such a big audience. So many people just blindly follow what this man says that you need to be more careful the bigger your audience is. You can't say things that are stupid, yet he continues to do so. Here's a post from today. Actually, it looks like it was from yesterday, maybe, or late last night or something. Don't buy a house unless you're out of debt and you have a fully funded emergency fund. Your home should be a blessing, not a curse. Don't buy until you're financially ready. Okay, I understand that. If you are ready, my team vets top-notch real estate agents. Then he goes on to give you, hey, the real purpose of this post is to refer people to my network so I can make money. But what he's saying is don't buy a house unless you're out of debt. Well, okay. And have a fully funded emergency fund. Emergency fund's a good idea. There's nothing wrong with that. Your home should be a blessing, not a curse. Don't buy until you're financially ready. Well, guess what? People's homes have been a blessing to them who've actually bought them. And we can go back almost, 10 years now. The bottom of the market in San Diego and the bottom of the market in the nation was in 2011. So everyone who's bought a home since then, their house has been a blessing. It has. What's a curse is when you tell people that they should wait. Okay, so now let's look, and this is from Redfin. So my data here is from Redfin. And this is just showing, okay, here's prices in San Diego. And I'm going to get my marker out. It's one of those kind of Fridays, folks. So if you were in 2017, I have a little bit of debt, I'm not debt free. I don't quite have my emergency fund, completely full. So I'm not going to buy yet. How long does it take you to do that? Because it's just costing money to wait. Look at how much money it's costing to wait. It's costing a fortune. If just over the course of 4 years, let's see, what was that? Let's call it 530 to 730, $200,000 additional. This cost you. How much money did you save by paying your debt off? How much money did you save by waiting until you had a fully funded emergency fund? And I'm not against paying off debt, and I'm not against having a fully funded emergency fund. But you have to weigh the totality of the circumstances. You can't just blindly say, no, you need to wait. Not with real estate moving like this, and not with the moves that I believe real estate is going to make in the near future. Has been making, will continue to make. And there's very good reason why. So I wanted to start you off today looking at this. As you can see, median sales price, this is according to Redfin, in San Diego, ay caramba, up 16% year over year. So I hope paying off your debt saved you more than a 16% year over year FOMO. Okay, missed opportunity. An opportunity cost is the technical term we should use for that. I hope so. Here's a quick comment. By the way, we are live here on Facebook. So if you want to drop a comment or say hi, please do. I love hearing from you. Nelson says, I bought my first house a year out of college with tons of student loan debt. When I sold it, I paid off my student loans and down payment on a bigger home. See, and you don't necessarily, thank you for that comment, Nelson. There's lots of people who probably have something similar to say about it. It's not that we want you to get a house and get into debt and get in over your head. Not at all. But you have to look at all these things. You can't just say, well, I want to be debt free and then I'm going to go get a big mortgage. I want to get all my other little debts paid off and then I'm going to do this one. How much did that cost? How much does this cost the people who listen to him? I just wonder, how much does it cost them in the long run when instead of paying $530,000 for a house, you waited until you got all the way up to $730,000 a house for the house? Same house. This is just a graph of the last 5 years. The last 10 years looks the same. It's just straight up, team. Real estate value is just going just up. There's many reasons for this. Inflation's one of them. Lack of supply is one of them. Demand is heavy. So, and has been for a long time. A long time. This is not new. So you have to be careful when you have a powerful voice to say things like this. So let me go back to the title of the video. Volatility and markets moving and being volatile is going to make real estate win. Let's quickly look at interest rates since I didn't make a video yesterday. We had a blessing of a candle yesterday. After 3 straight days of getting smeared, and we're going to analyze the different markets right now. I'm going to explain to you what is going to drive so many people to real estate. It already is, but it will continue to do so. And there's things that are happening in, well, let me get to that. So 3 straight days getting smeared. And then we had this miracle candle because we closed below this support level here. This miracle candle cuts through that support level, gets us up. And today, basically today, everything is moving really, really slow. Even like Bitcoin is barely trading. Right now there was a crash in Bitcoin that happened the last couple of days. It was an obvious coordinated attack. It's Wall Street running rampant. There's no rules in the cryptocurrency space. So all the dirty tricks that Wall Street does, with stocks that they have to kind of hide or, whatever, at least that we can't see it. The people who are able to measure the on-chain metrics for Bitcoin are able to see when these big coin positions come on and when they come off. When they come on right before Elon sends a tweet, they come off right afterwards. There's just a lot of obvious market manipulation going on in Bitcoin, which leads me to Exhibit A. Real estate can't be manipulated. Not like this stuff. Not like cryptocurrency. Not like stocks. Okay, stocks can easily be manipulated. We're finding out now that cryptocurrency can easily be manipulated. In the short run. I still believe in cryptocurrency for sure in the long run. And I'll look at Bitcoin a little bit more closely here in a second because we're going to take a look at all these things today as we're trying to poise ourselves for, hey, we're in a real estate market where it's difficult to win. Prices are high. Sellers are losing their reason day by day. Should I just give up and just wait for a better time? Shouldn't I just go ahead and pack it up and just say, let's just lease for a year. Let's just forget about it. Why should I fight this fight? It's so hard. A lot of people feel that way. Guess what? When you are trying to get into something that lots of people want to be in, including people who are wealthy and have lots of cash, people keep saying, I keep getting beat out by cash offers. So do you think those people making the cash offers are dumb money? Or do you think they're smart money? Do you think people walking around with $1 million in cash and buying a house all cash, do you think those are smart people? Or do you think those are dumb people? Because the rule has always been follow the smart money. And then the only thing you have to do is figure out, well, who's the smart money? Is it Jim Cramer? Is it Dave Ramsey? Is it Susie Orman? Is it my buddy Derek who does Facebook videos every once in a while? And YouTube videos? Who is the smart money? I mean, I'm asking you the question. If you're getting beat out by cash offers, what does that tell you? Does that tell you you should run away from where you are? Or does that tell you you're in the right place and you need to stay after it? You tell me which one it is. So we look at things like, the stock market, which, has had a couple big down days. Today up big. This is one of those days today that's just, I call it a short cover rally, not because it's explosive, but just because it won't go down. The market just won't go down, just kind of glides higher the whole day. You get caught in a short position on a day like this and you just watch it just eat away your accounts. Most painful thing in the world. And I think there's a little bit of that. I think that the fact that the CDC has issued some guidance. Did I pull that story up? I didn't. that, hey, we're going to start to get more back to normal. If you've been vaccinated, you don't need a mask, inside, outside. We're going to kind of slowly see things change. And in the summer, there's already stuff being scheduled, concerts, the Woodstock kind of Lollapaloozas and all that stuff. They're being scheduled now. So the world is sort of gearing up to get back after it. And if I'm right, that has something to do with the catalyst for the beginning of the downside with stocks. The old buy the rumor, sell the news, very, very simple, straightforward Wall Street approach to any big trade. And I think the reopening trade is working out just like that. We've seen the stock market go higher and higher and higher, even though there really isn't good reason for it. And I think when we do finally get fully reopened, I think that's when it's going to roll over. Even though things will be looking better, things will be looking up. They should be looking much better. That has already been priced in and then some into these stocks. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Now, manipulation is taking place there. Manipulation is taking place back here in the bond market, now up 9 basis points today. Would love to see a little more movement here. This kind of candle on a Friday makes me go, indecision. When we were looking at the Bitcoin chart here, and I know a bunch of people are interested in Dogecoin as well, which is at 57 cents. I've got that one pulled up over here too, which is up 45% today. It's just so crazy to me, that one. A lot of people asking me about Ethereum as well. Right now, let me see if I can get rid of some of these indicators. Can I get rid of this guy? Yeah. A little bit easier to see. We've got this wedge going on right here from this downtrend that was broken momentarily and worked again, and it's just kind of working right through here. We've got a slight uptrend on the short term, which is kind of creating this wedge. And usually there's a breakout that's going to happen here. Unfortunately, even though I'm long Bitcoin and I believe in it long term, this chart makes it look like Bitcoin is going to go lower. That's just a reality of what it makes it look like it's going to go lower. The on-chain metrics with Bitcoin were able to prove and show that some of these different dips that you saw here, it's like this one right here. We had, what was it, 5 straight hours? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight hours of sell-off on May 10th. And this is clearly insider information when you look at the on-chain metrics, where they basically prove that someone got tipped off to what was going on right around here, and people who were long and who were on the inside got out. So that's regular long selling right there. The market itself still wanted to be up in this area, so we went right back to where it was. And that's one of the reasons you can see that. Okay, right here, there's people get out. The market takes it right back to where it was. Then you see, things just settle off a little bit. We had a hard time with 58,000 on Bitcoin. And then over here is where it gets a little choppy and crazy. And then here's the big Elon Musk, tweet sell off when Elon said, "Hey, I am not convinced that Bitcoin is being mined in a manner which is good for the environment." That was basically what he was saying. P.S. Why would Elon tweet something like that, saying, "Hey, we're not accepting Bitcoin anymore," even though that wasn't a big deal anyway to begin with? Guess what? The administration that we have in the White House right now is very much into, renewable energy and things like that. There's a lot of energy initiatives to get away from fossil fuels and stuff like that. And Tesla should be a big part of that. And there's going to be tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars thrown around in this space. And Tesla would like some of that coin. And they deserve some of that coin, frankly. I believe that Elon was told he needed to do that. He needed to take that stance. He needed to send that tweet if he wanted a chance at any of this. That's my guess. So they wanted into this. There's a story here. I'll post it so you can see. You can check it out. And so again, manipulation. We have manipulation in the cryptocurrency markets. We have manipulation in the American bond markets. We have manipulation in the treasury markets for sure. Look at those two. We have 100%. There's no question. We have manipulation in the stock markets. We don't have this in the real estate market. How can you manipulate the real estate market? You can't short it. You could maybe short some of the lenders and try to get them in a bad spot, or you could sell bonds that you don't own, short bonds, and maybe try to knock rates up higher and try to weaken the market. It would take so much money to even attempt to make a flick on the real estate market that it's really not a viable or reasonable thing to do it at all. And so real estate is safe from manipulation. And the more people who are invested in some of these different asset classes realize and see and experience the manipulation, they're going to realize that, gosh, the one solid, steady Eddie, we can count on you, investment out there is real estate, and has been for quite some time. Here's a question, live question from Nelson. So this greener Bitcoin storyline is just manipulation. I don't understand it. Yeah, for sure. So Bitcoin, all right, let me just take this all the way and explain it to you. So I have personally looked into with great detail what it would take to create a Bitcoin mining business. Okay, I've looked into this extensively. And essentially, the reward for mining Bitcoin is so small that it will just pay for your power. It's like if I set up a mining rig here in this room that I'm in right now and stopped making videos and just started mining Bitcoin, I would break even because the reward for the mining is just going to be enough to cover my power. So what's basically great about that is that in order to make money mining Bitcoin, you have to be efficient with power. There's no other way around it. You can't be inefficient with power and make money mining Bitcoin. It's impossible. So if you're going to be a big miner, you have to set up a power efficient circumstance. If you do not have a power efficient circumstance, you 100% will not make money. So even in the creation of Bitcoin, the creator, Satoshi, he basically knew that this was going to be the perfect amount of reward was going to be just enough to pay for power. And if you're in a high cost power area, like we are here in California, even more difficult. A lot of the big mining operations are in Iceland or in these places overseas where power is cheaper. And in those cases, you have a little bit better shot of making money, but you can't go to expensive power, and your efficiency with power is going to be your main source for profit if you're a miner. Because basically, just think about it, it's just computers plugged into the wall. I mean, they're just servers. Mining is just having servers plugged in doing work. The computers are running. So they're running power to these computers. That's it. There's nothing else to it. So you're just plugging computers into the wall. And you can't make money unless you're more efficient with the power than just plugging them into the wall. So you got to figure something out. You got to figure out how you can get solar or how you can get a cheaper energy. And so the whole construct of mining for cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin, which is the one that's being talked about, is just structured in a way to become energy efficient. The whole structure. Some people are speculating that Elon is looking to launch some sort of solar, mining product for cryptocurrency, which I think is totally possible and very well could be. But I don't think he would backdoor. I don't think he's a dishonest type guy who would say, "Hey, we don't believe in this," but here's my sales pitch. I have a solution. I don't think so. Maybe they'll come up with something eventually. But I don't think that's what it's about. I think it was about these credits. He's interested in it, and he was told, listen, you can't be considered for it because of these things. You need to do an about face. Here's the data that we're going to give you on this. And he bought it hook, line, and sinker. So right now, we have cryptocurrency markets that are definitely being manipulated. It looks like we're getting closer here to something going on with Bitcoin. It's going to break one way or the other here. It looks to me like we're going to see downside. It just looks like this wants to just go this way. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it, marches its way back, up over here and breaks through this thing and goes higher. But it looks like it wants to roll over. This is kind of a very much of a rollover looking type. Man, my drawing tool is not doing so hot. This is kind of a rollover look. We'll see what happens. But right now we're just sort of stuck in this, in this triangle, and it's coming to a head. So something's going to happen here. So we've got manipulation happening in cryptocurrency, bond market, stock market, but not the real estate market. Nope. Real estate market, no manipulation. What happens when we don't have manipulation in a market? Well, look at that. Look at that chart. That's what you want to see. If you're an investor, if you're a homeowner, that's what you want to see. So ultimately, the volatility that we're going to see in the markets, which we're going to see volatility particularly in the stock market and the cryptocurrency market. That volatility is going to be very, very good for real estate, on top of the fact that we have a massive wave of inflation that has just begun. This is all going to drive people to real estate. It already is, and it's going to continue to. And so I want to implore all the buyers out there who might be frustrated because you've been getting beat out by cash offers. And those cash offers are, you don't know how to deal with it. Maybe you offer an appraisal bridge and it's still not working. Maybe you've done some of the things I've suggested and it's still not working. Just know the person who's buying that house with cash probably knows what they're doing, right? If you have $800,000, $1 million, $1.2 million in cash and you're buying a house with, it's probably not all the money you have. And so people who are wealthy, people who are more savvy are going and buying real estate, and we can see it. They are not able to hide from us in this situation because they're spending all cash in a lot of cases. They're removing contingencies. They are showing you what real demand looks like. Okay, a lot of the people buying these cryptocurrencies or buying these stocks could be doing it on leverage. They could be doing it through a Robinhood account with no money. You can't go pay cash for a house unless you have done some things. Now, of course, you could have inherited some money. It's totally possible. But most people made their money, earned their money, and now they want to spend it on real estate, and they want to spend it all cash. We need to pay attention to that. So think about when you're following smart money. If you're sniffing in the same bush that smart money is, you're in the right place. You're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. You just going to have to stick after it because there's going to be an increasing demand for real estate that is not stopping anytime soon. And ultimately, Dave is wrong here. He just is. You should buy a house when you're comfortable with the payment. When you're comfortable with the payment, you can put yourself in a position for success. That's when it makes sense to look at purchasing a home. A lot of people are already spending enough money on rent that would be equivalent to a mortgage payment that they would pay in today's market, even with prices having gone up. Because guess what? Rents go up too. Just like that real estate price chart I showed you, rents do the same thing. They're going to continue to go up as well. Why? Because there's no manipulation. That's the reason. Manipulation in real estate is not really possible. The only manipulation that we see is in the bond market for mortgage rates. And while that does help, it definitely does help. It doesn't make or break the market. It's helpful, but it doesn't make or break the market. Not that we've ever seen. So at the end of the day, where do you want to be? Where do you want to have your money parked? Do you want to have it parked? Part of the reason why I started investing in cryptocurrency is because I knew the Wall Street manipulation was coming. I knew that Wall Street was going to be on the same side of the trade as me if I owned it. Eventually, they still haven't got in yet, right? They need guidance from the SEC in order to get all these ETFs and everything up and running. Once that happens, it's to the moon. And that's the reason why I've got diamond hands and I don't sell. I know where it's headed. I know where Bitcoin's headed. I don't know about the other cryptocurrencies, but I know where that one's headed. And so that's why I've invested heavily into it. What edge do you have in the market? What edge do you have in your investment opportunities? What edge do you have in understanding the different stocks that you might be invested in? Someone asked me this week, what's the smartest thing to do as a younger individual through YouTube? Said, hey, I just got my first real job. I've got some student debts to pay. How do you suggest that I save for retirement? These are just great questions. If you can just max out your 401k every year, diversify it into whatever different options you have through your 401k, max out your 401k every year, and you start at 25, that's all you're going to need to do. Do that and buy a house and you're set. That's it. Max out the 401k every year, buy a house, eventually own it free and clear. You will be good to go. You'll have a free and clear house and you'll have a massive 401k by the time you're done. And you don't need to do anything else. You don't need to invest in cryptocurrency. You don't need to go stock picking. You don't need to do any of that. But a lot of people like myself, we've done well with that. So we continue to do it. And, so that's the reason I talk about individual stocks and individual cryptocurrencies, because it's something that I believe I have an edge on, or I believe has worked for me in the past. And the oil trade has been my old faithful trade. And that's the reason why we've got the oil stocks in there right now. So lots of information, I know. But real estate, the volatility is good for it. And it cannot be manipulated in the same way that these other markets can, which is going to drive investors in the direction of buying real estate even more than they have been. So expect more of the same, higher prices, potentially even with higher rates for real estate. Take a hard look now if you want in, and try to get in while it's still reasonable. Believe me, you think that prices right now are unreasonable? Wait 2 or 3 years and then tell me what you think about prices today. All right, guys. Happy Friday. Have an amazing weekend. I'll see y'all soon.